Hi there, happy Tuesday. Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist TJ Springer here in the Storm Center for Fox 35 Weather Plus. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're traveling, hopefully you're not having any issues in that regard. We know there is some somewhat crazy weather unfolding across some parts of the nation right now, so we'll talk a little more about that. But let me know where you're watching from, if you're planning on traveling for Thanksgiving at all. And just like yesterday, our question of the day, it is Thanksgiving related. So we'll ask, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? And do you typically make said side dish, or you want to just eat it whenever you go to visit family or friends on Thanksgiving? I have to say that my go-to is usually, if I'm bringing something, whether it be to a Friendsgiving or whether it be to Thanksgiving, it is typically the green bean casserole, because I feel like it's always a fan favorite. It's also not all that crazy to make. Not too many ingredients, which is the nice thing sometimes, especially if you're cooking a heck of a lot. Let us know if you're hosting Thanksgiving, if you're cooking. Ooh, William, stuffing. Love it. Stuffing is probably my favorite as well. You're saying you're eating at your church, in a friend's house on Thanksgiving and resting. I love that. That's great. That sounds like a perfect Thanksgiving, honestly. I love it. Well, we'll definitely revisit our question of the day for sure, so you'll have some time to think about it if you're not watching on Facebook or YouTube right now, and you can comment. If you're watching on Fox Local, that is great. But if you do want to weigh in on any of our questions of the day, or you want to just comment, or you have a question on the top of your head that you want to ask, you can pull up the stream on YouTube or Facebook while you're watching us on Fox Local, which is great. Right now, it's fairly quiet across Central Florida. We can see some clouds out there. That's our Girls Lakeside cam over Lake Fairview. We're seeing pleasant conditions around the theme parks, lots of sunshine. That's a live glance over I-Drive right now. You can see some of the Universal skyline off in the distance, Icon Park. It's been a great week to be here on vacation. If you're here on vacation, that is awesome. Hopefully you're having a great time so far, and if you're hitting the parks for Thanksgiving, hopefully you have a spectacular time as well. Here's the big picture, and we're going to zoom things out even more so and kind of take a look across the nation. But you can see Storm Tracker radar showing some showers and some storms out to our north and west ahead of the cold front that eventually is going to bring us a pretty solid cool down as well. But on the northern side of these systems, where temperatures are much cooler, we are seeing snow, and a fair amount of it. So that's going to be a big story if you are traveling across portions of the northern tier of the nation, anywhere from the Dakotas to Wisconsin to Minnesota. It's certainly going to be kind of a rough go at it. Here's the big picture. Traveling today, you can see the cold front working eastbound. You can see the snow dumping across the Dakotas, some of Montana. And crazy enough, not only do we have winter storm warnings, but we also have blizzard warnings for portions of Michigan right now and some of Minnesota. I'm looking at our Fox Weather Alert System, and you know what? I can actually pull that up. Yeah, it's a potent system, and it's going to dump, in some spots, a foot of snow or more, which is maybe not what you're wanting for for your Thanksgiving week. But hopefully, wherever you are traveling to, if you are dealing with some of this, you'll get to your final destination without any issues. All right, let me pull this up. Yeah, you can see blizzard warnings, portions of Michigan, and I believe Minnesota as well. You can see them scrolling across. It might just be Michigan, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I may have misspoke there. So that was my bad. But you can see also the tornado watch, which is on the southern side of the system where there's warmth and instability, and we'll show you that as well. All right, I see a lot of comments. Pamela, how are you from DeLand? What's going on? Thanks for hopping on. John, how are you? Long time no see. Oh gosh, thanks for watching. Ooh, this is great. The Suzu on YouTube said you started making sausage and mascarpone stuffed mushrooms years ago. They became a family favorite appetizer. Oh, that sounds delicious. Oh, I'm very curious about this. Is this a recipe that you came up with all on your own, or did you kind of find this and kind of tweak it? Because that sounds delicious. I'm a huge mushroom fan, and I love mascarpone cheese, so I feel like that would be delicious. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Thanks for the well wishes to the team. We certainly appreciate it. Okay, so this is certainly going to be, not just a one-day event either. We're expecting the system to continue its cross-country move, and more snow, the potential for more rain and more storms. So let me scroll back down here. We'll pull up the travel forecast once again, and we can kind of zoom in and look at what we're seeing right now. But again, you can see multiple systems, another one moving on to the Pacific coast in the Pacific Northwest, and that one we'll be watching later down the pike. But heavy snow for portions of the upper Midwest and the northern, the heartland, and then this cold front that is working eastbound toward the eastern seaboard now, bringing the potential for some severe weather, some rain and thunderstorms today. So there is that tornado watch across portions of Alabama and Mississippi right now. Thankfully, no warnings just yet, but you can see all the storms, and this includes portions of really central and southern Alabama, anywhere from Birmingham down through Montgomery, and we're still watching out for the potential of severe weather even in some of Georgia. You can see that it's a low-end risk, but still a risk nonetheless. A possibility that a couple of storms could turn severe here this evening, and where that slight risk is, or the likelihood of severe weather, that's where we're seeing that tornado watch. Hi, Alice. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate the warm wishes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's what we're looking at today. In terms of the snow, all right, Fox Local friends, just to let you know, we'll be taking a quick break in just under a minute. So if you don't want to miss anything, you want to join the convo live, you can pull us up on Facebook and YouTube so you don't miss anything. Here's the snow outlook, and check this out. So anywhere from north of the Twin Cities into northern Wisconsin, a lot of snow. Measuring it in feet versus inches, you can even see around the Twin Cities 4 to 8 inches of snow is a possibility. So it's not going to be good for anyone traveling on the roadways over the next couple days. I'm sure crews going to be working in overdrive trying to clear things out just because of the expected number of folks traveling on the roadways for Thanksgiving, the day before, the day after on Black Friday. Now here is the big picture for Thanksgiving Eve. You can see more snow across portions of western Montana into Idaho, in the mountains of Washington. So it's definitely going to be unsettled there. But notice, once this front gets through, things are definitely going to improve. And the good news is, at least for many of us on Turkey Day, on Thanksgiving, we're going to see improving conditions and a quieter picture across the nation. The lower 48 not quite as active as what we'll have leading up to Thanksgiving. But that's the sad part, of course, as many of us are traveling and hitting the roads or hitting the sky for Thanksgiving. You can still see some snow wrapping around that area of low pressure tomorrow across Minnesota. Wisconsin, still really heavy snow there. On the flip side, showers and the potential for some thunderstorms across the southeast up into the mid-Atlantic, and even some snow and mixed precip trying to mix to get into northern New England. So that's Thanksgiving Eve. Thanksgiving, the cold front is swinging through, getting through the Sunshine State, getting through Central Florida. And notice that cold Canadian air, that Arctic air, just essentially spills out of Canada across the upper Midwest, across the plains. And, we'll call it modified Arctic air for us, but it's still going to be cool as we approach Thanksgiving night into our Black Friday. So be sure to dust off the jackets. You'll probably want to grab them if you're getting out and shopping. Here's the outlook for Black Friday. You can see more snow inbound with a disturbance working through the Rockies, snow on the northern side of that across Montana, across the Dakotas, some lake effect snow across upstate New York, across northern PA, back into Illinois and Wisconsin. So for some of us, it's going to be a really wintry Thanksgiving and Black Friday. But hey, let me know if you love that. If you're a fan of the cold air and the warmth, especially if you're someone that lives in the South where you don't see snow, you don't see wintry systems like this, you might be loving it. You might be literally happy and walking in a winter wonderland. All right, welcome back, Fox Local friends. Just checking in on Facebook and YouTube right now. Make sure I'm not missing any comments. Let's see. William Brooks, I believe you might be referring to Brooks. Brooks does our morning show. He does Good Day Orlando, so he's not, unless he's done a report for us for Fox 35 Weather Plus, he's not typically in the studio with us. But Noah is right beside me. He's getting cranking on the He's getting cranking on the forecast for 5 and 6 this evening. So be sure to join him, Luann, and John for the latest. And of course, be sure to join Marlisa at 4 for the 407. Can't forget 407. We've had a lot of fun on the 407 with all of the holiday festivities leading up to Thanksgiving. Now, while I'm on the topic of Black Friday, while we're showing the forecast for Black Friday, are you one to go out and do the shopping early in the morning? I know now with Cyber Monday, with how big online shopping has got, I don't see and hear, from friends that I talk to, family, people don't go out like they used to. But, even if I didn't buy a dang thing, I just enjoyed going out there just for the fun of it because I feel like everyone was out. You knew people were out having fun and shopping, but then of course there's the stressful aspect of it, and many people don't want to battle the crowds, don't want to even think about getting out and doing any sort of shopping on Black Friday or even the weekend after, because so many stores are doing sales even through the weekend. But yeah, weigh in on that too. Well, I'm thinking about, let me go back to our question of the day. If you didn't get to see it earlier on, still Thanksgiving related, all about Thanksgiving cooking, and if you're doing the cooking, if you're doing the eating, if you're doing the cleaning up, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? I would probably have to say, for me, it would probably be the stuffing. And we have a family recipe that we've used for years on my mom's side. And believe it or not, it actually it jogged my memory when on YouTube we had the comment from the Sioux Zoo about the sausage and mascarpone stuffed mushrooms. There is sausage in our stuffing. And now I did cook last year. I didn't... I kind of cheated on the stuffing a little bit. I did stovetop, but I mixed in some extra things, and I also added in the sausage, so I kind of did a little hack. But it still kind of tasted like our family recipe, believe it or not. So I was a happy camper. But yeah, weigh in if you haven't done so. I would love to hear what your favorite side dish is. And it's funny enough, I believe we had this on the show maybe sometime last week or earlier on this week. Or you maybe even posted about it. It was like, was it like Florida's favorite side was mac and cheese or something like that? I think it was something.
wild. I would have never thought
It was
that.
something strange. And I have nothing against mac and cheese. I like mac and cheese.
Exactly. I'm not a huge fan.
You're not a huge fan of mac and cheese?
No.
Do you like homemade mac and cheese, like where it's baked in the oven, or not even that?
Never really tried it.
Okay.
Surprise! I know I'm weird. I know.
No, not weird. That's only because as a kid, my mom made that, and I was like, ooh, I want Kraft. I don't want this. I don't want the homemade mac and cheese. I want the Kraft with the orange powder. But yeah, I do like homemade mac and cheese. Yeah, but that was Florida's. Funny enough, Florida's favorite side dish apparently from that study. Well, let me jump back in. Here's the Thanksgiving forecast for us in Central Florida. Still may see a shower or two early in the day, but that front should be pushing through earlier in the day, and that should allow temperatures to be not quite as warm. So below normal for Thanksgiving now. So for Florida standards, it might be jeans and a hoodie weather if you're heading over to family and friends' houses, especially if you're traveling regionally around Florida. It'll be even cooler up in the Panhandle. But yeah, highs topping out pretty close to the 70-degree mark. And then look at this. So for Black Friday, it is going to be bright, but temperatures in the 40s. Wind chills likely around 40 early in the morning if you're shopping. And then we're only going to get in the low to mid 60s. So it's going to be chilly. Sarah, hi. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for hopping on. We so appreciate it. Make sure I'm missing any YouTube comment. I don't think we are, which is great. All right, on Fox Local, if you're watching us there, we'll be taking another quick break here, another 2-minute break in just about 2 minutes. So right around 3:20, we'll take that break on Fox Local. If you don't want to miss anything, you want to ask a question, you want to weigh in on anything, Thanksgiving related, weather related, you can pull us up on your smart device, on your laptop. John, you're saying you really enjoy everything. If I had to pick the best dish, it'd be sweet potato casserole. Now that's one that I feel like, I like sweet potato casserole. I didn't like it when I was a kid. My mom makes a really good one. She's got the marshmallows. I can't remember if she has pecans in it. She may, but I was always eating the marshmallow off the top of it. I think there are probably a lot of people that will side against sweet potatoes. For whatever reason, I know we'd ask my dad why he didn't like it, and he'd say it was orange. I'm like, Dad, that's a terrible excuse. That's terrible. Sarah, you're saying it's going to be cold and windy up here in York County, PA? Oh, I can only imagine. Well, here, let's pull up current conditions right now. I can zoom into the Susquehanna Valley. It looks like a gloomy day in the Susquehanna Valley with the system moving in rain. Seeing the rain all the way across the Commonwealth right now, from Pittsburgh all the way to Philly. Yeah, it looks like a pretty gross day in PA, Sarah. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better. It's looking that way as we head through the next couple days. You can see still kind of unsettled on Wednesday, but then much better. Just chilly. Highs only in the 40s likely on Thanksgiving around the Susquehanna Valley. Ooh, Sarah, you're saying you love all the sides, but hash brown casserole. I have had hash brown casserole, and I feel like hash brown casserole is really, really good. Now, granted, I have never made hash brown casserole. But I've eaten hash brown casserole, and I'm a fan. So I'm right there with you. And I know what, while I'm thinking about it, I kind of jumped right into the Thanksgiving forecast. But let's throw up our forecast for the next 24 hours. So this is what we have on the table tonight into our Thanksgiving Eve here across Central Florida. So patchy fog possible once again. We've kind of been seeing that almost each and every morning. So if you run into any of that, travel carefully. Remember, there's low beam headlights. Allow a little extra distance between your vehicle and the one in front of you. Let me pull this up here for tomorrow morning. Yeah, a better chance is certainly north and west of the Orlando Metro, across our Fox 51 locales, Alachua, Levy, Dixie, Gilchrist counties, but not looking all that widespread, which we will gladly take. Clifford, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for tuning in into Land. Love to see it. All right, here's the deal for tomorrow. So I know we were talking about the cold front moving in and the big chill behind it, but we're expecting a really warm day. Temperatures running around 5-6 degrees above normal for this time of the year. After that fog lifts, we'll have some sunshine mixed with clouds, but then we're expecting that potential for a couple of sprinkles. Hi, Adrian. How are you? Thanks for hopping on, man. I'm not sure if you're watching from the station or watching from home or watching from somewhere on the go, but thanks for hopping on, man. All right, making sure I'm not missing any comments here. All right, welcome back, Fox Local friends. After that quick little commercial break, you know what? Let's throw back up our question of the day real fast. I know a few of you have already weighed in, which I so love. Oh, I love that, Adrian, you're watching Winter Garden. That's great. I feel like I need to get out there and check out the Christmas decorations because they look beautiful. I feel like that's all that's been popping up on Instagram and TikTok. All of our lovely decorations around all of our amazing communities here in Central Florida. Yeah, what's your favorite side dish? Please weigh in. I'm still stuck on the sausage and mascarpone stuffed mushrooms from one of our friends on YouTube. That is awesome. Okay, well, let's go back to the forecast here. And I'll pull up the 7-day. So this is what we're looking at right now as we head through the remainder of our holiday week. So after a solid cool down, over a 20-degree cool down from Wednesday to Black Friday, temperatures warm as quickly as they cooled. We're right back into the 80s on Sunday. Now, we do have a 20% chance of showers. We are expecting a warm front to start to lift on in. That'll be the driving force in that. And then it's looking like this system, it's kind of a slow-moving system, but it looks to bring the potential for still some isolated showers Monday and Tuesday. So a little unsettled in early next week. We do need the rain, which we've been talking about. And, so many of us saw flooding over the last month plus, but for those that haven't gotten that rain, the drought is certainly worsening. So that's something we'll have to watch, of course, as we head through not just the rest of the month, but through the rest of the year. But it's looking like an overall much quieter Friday and Saturday. So if you have plans to travel back from family and friends after Thanksgiving, things are looking pretty good. And if you're just joining us, let me go back to that, because I feel like those are going to be big travel days for sure. Obviously, tomorrow is going to be a huge travel day. But Thanksgiving itself, if you're hitting the road, you can see across the South, across the Ohio Valley, across the upper Midwest, aside from some of that lingering lake effect snow, as that system continues to work eastbound, things are looking a lot better, just cold. But on Black Friday, we're feeling that chill locally across the southeast, but there's still not a ton of precipitation across the lower 48 aside from the lake effect snow in the northeast, and then this next system moving on shore of the Pacific coast and that disturbance that's working through the Rockies. So it's certainly better, but if you're traveling today or tomorrow, certainly want to check your forecast, and if you're flying, be sure you're checking in with your airlines, because I'm sure there are going to be some delays across some of our big airports. Sarah, you're saying you want the warm weather up here in PA, you're not ready for the cold. I can only imagine. Ian, evening from Belfast again. Oh my gosh, how are you? 95 days to the wife and you arrive in Orlando. Happy Thanksgiving from the UK. That is awesome. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you and your wife in the United Kingdom. That is awesome. Yeah, hey, now that you're under 100 days, the countdown's going to go quick, right? That is so fun. I'm so excited you're excited to get over here to Orlando. I can only imagine. Aiden, you're saying burr. Yeah, I know. I feel that 1,000%. All right, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Well, I'm thinking about it. Let me throw this up because I know we haven't really talked about that much. I know we talked about it briefly, but if you are planning on hitting the theme parks tomorrow, it's going to be warm. You'll see that mixture of clouds and sunshine. Pleasant for a good bit of the day, but again, a spotty shower or two is a possibility. I don't know if it's enough to maybe bring the poncho, but if you want to be prepared, you just want to throw it in the bag to be safe, I would not blame you. John, you're saying best wishes and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks, man. So appreciate it, and same to you. You said you also enjoy the mashed potatoes. Yeah, mashed potatoes. But here's another question. What do we think? Mashed potatoes with or without gravy? Because I feel like some people really don't like gravy on them. I'm always one to put gravy over like everything. Like the the gobbler from Wawa, if you ever had one of those, or you're one to make like a Thanksgiving sandwich with all the leftovers on Thursday night or on Friday. It's that same thing. Mix in the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the cranberry sauce, the gravy. Just mix in. You know, some people can't stand the food touching either, right? I'm one of those people that think, hey, it's all going to the same place. If it touches, it doesn't bother me at all. All right, before we go, let me pull up the radar one more time, kind of give you a little glimpse across the nation of what we're watching here. You can see the winter storm warnings across portions of Michigan all the way back into Wisconsin and Minnesota, as well as the Dakotas, with that area of low pressure there. Heavy snow, wind-driven snow. That's why we're watching the potential for blizzard conditions. And then on the southern and eastern side of this system, with the cold front, you can see tornado watches across portions of Alabama and Mississippi. And now we have a severe thunderstorm warning. Now really close to let's see, Auburn, Tuskegee. Yeah, that's Lee County until 4 o'clock. So if you're watching this from afar, definitely want to have a way to receive those watches and warnings, like the Fox Local app or the Fox 35 Storm Team app. And then you can see that next system moving on shore of the Pacific coast. So that's kind of the big picture. Make sure you're watching the forecast. Make sure you're checking in on, if you're flying, your flight information, so you're kind of in the know, up to date. Yeah, there's the big picture. You can kind of see what I was just talking about with the severe weather starting to unfold across some of Alabama already, then the snow across the northern tier of the country. Well, thank you for all of your comments. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us on Fox 35 Weather Plus as always, Monday through Friday right here at 3 o'clock, Fox Local, Facebook, and YouTube. Have a happy Thanksgiving if we don't see you. And if not, we'll see you here tomorrow. Have a great night.